To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Jay here, positivesarcasm.com, recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful but still very snowy seacoast. Like, subscribe, share, donate. positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. If you have my website, positivesarcasm.com, for all your questions, concerns, or comments. But find me on Instagram at positive_sarcasm, or find me on my website, positivesarcasm.com. You can contact me through my website in the contact page, or you can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. So there's all your information there. You can find the podcast anywhere where podcasts are downloadable and available. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Did I say Spotify? I did say Spotify. Substack, and you can download it and stream it directly from positivesarcasm.com. The video versions of the podcast are available on YouTube and Rumble under Positive Sarcasm Podcast. Took me a little while, last couple days to get this microphone going. Working on the health update is I've been doing the stair climber because I've completely ditched weightlifting for the past few weeks, and I've been focusing mostly on cardiovascular work, just doing stairs. All I'm doing is stairs to test and see if my cardiovascular system is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. So, and I don't do a lot of cardio. And I'm talking about just slow and steady cardio. We're talking like level 4 staircase, like I've already preached. And let's see, it was about a week ago. It was about 160 beats per minute, and I had no problem doing it. I mean, I had some days up and down. Maybe I didn't sleep that great, but 160 beats a minute, and then it came down a little bit, and then we are down now to around 138 and 141 beats per minute. So it's good. I'm pleased to see that it is coming down, and that it's not spinning out of control. There is definitely more work to be done. There's more sleep to be had. There is definitely more supplements to take, and there's definitely some clearing that needs to be taken care of. But that's kind of the situation I'm in right now. It has been far more controlled. Today it was a little weird, but ultimately felt a lot more. It's been a lot more controlled lately. Focusing on breathing, focusing on, it's amazing what it has done for my perception now. Is anything that is not of concern. Like, I don't care about snowstorms. I don't care about drama. I don't care about what's going on in the news as far as anything other than just something to talk about. Really, it's nothing that scares me. It's all anything that I would consider bullshit. I have completely just like, no, I don't. It's not that I don't want to have time for this. I can't. Like, I can't absorb it. It's not good for me. It's not good for you. It's not good for anybody to really just over ingest this stuff. Like, you're sitting there, if you're doom scrolling on Instagram, you're constantly reading Epstein stuff, even though we'll talk about it a little bit today. It's really nothing more than it's just more stuff that's out there. So I've just kind of moved that stuff completely aside and just focused on being calm and relaxed, and really just whatever I can do respectively to get through the day, have a nice calm evening, get some sleep, and just continue to go through those motions as I work through the beginning of this year of making sure that I clear this little thing, because this was definitely a wake-up call, something I wasn't expecting. But hey, when you don't sleep very well for a very long time and you miscalculate some of your health and nutrition guidelines, it's very possible. Anybody can do it. You don't get enough potassium, you don't get enough of this or that, the other thing, and the next thing you know, you get a little scare. But this is, we all need a little wake-up call like this. And quite frankly, if I was around certain people that I was around even a couple of years ago, I don't think I would have fared as well. I would have had to really make some immediate decisions right then and there, because there were some people in my life that I definitely would have given me severe strain which is not something I am a fan of in general. But ultimately, my group right now that I have, it's very small, it's very supportive, and ultimately that's all that I care about. So, but we move on. Ultimately, I haven't had any coffee in the several weeks that this situation has escalated. No stimulants of any kind. I'm definitely I get annoyed when I see certain supplements that I supposedly want or need at this, they were there the day before, now they're no longer here. So I've been a lot more aggressive in making sure that I have everything that I need, and I don't be I'll get it tomorrow. It's no, we're gonna get this right now. We're gonna get, if we need sleep supplements, we're gonna get them right now so that we don't miss a day. If I need these daily supplements, we're gonna go get those right now so I don't miss a beat. But as far as casually getting out the door for the day or coming home, it's completely whatever. Let everybody else have meltdowns about what's going on in their own lives or in the world, or if somebody didn't make their drink right in the coffee drive-thru. It's not for me. It's not my thing. I don't care. I just like being healthy. I like being able to relax and enjoy the situation that I put myself in. That situation being this beautiful home with amazing girl, amazing dog, amazing view, and a very respectable living. So that is my focus, and I would trust that you would follow some of those guidelines as well. But I did want to. There was something definitely noteworthy today. One of the things that supposedly could be helping me is hibiscus tea, which is I guess acts as a vasodilator. Other things act as a vasodilator too. What do you call it? Not theanine, stupid me. L-citrulline and arginine also help as a vasodilator. Just basically expands the veins so that the blood can go through it faster. So I've been utilizing those. Right now I don't have any citrulline, so right now I'm just relying strictly on standard arginine that I have to take 3 times a day. And it's not my preferred. I would prefer the citrulline because the citrulline is more arginine is more short-term burst, immediate effect, whereas citrulline is studied to be something that's more of a time delay. It's more long-term, which is good. But I mean, I have what I have, but as soon as I get my hands on more L-citrulline, I will absolutely do so. But I felt that nitric oxide booster that I had was really doing the trick. I was taking that in the morning, and then I was taking it in the afternoon, and it had a combination of of arginine and L-citrulline. But I really like that, and I want to get more of that. There apparently was a little bit of a situation down in Florida today, down in Mar-a-Lago, which is near Palm Beach. This has happened before, where people apparently just don't get the hint. An armed man was shot and killed after unauthorized entry into Mar-a-Lago, according to the Secret Service. I'm going to definitely read this article for you, and then I have some thoughts about it. People have nothing better to do, apparently. Suspect they identified him as 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin of North Carolina, and this was published as of this morning. Man in his early 20s was shot and killed early Sunday after allegedly breaching the secure perimeter of the president's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida. The U.S. Secret Service announced. The Secret Service said the incident occurred around 1:30 a.m. when the suspect made an unauthorized entry at the property. The individual was observed near the north gate carrying what appeared to be a shotgun and a fuel can. Agents and a deputy from Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office confronted the man, who was pronounced dead at the scene. They did more than confront him. Sheriff Rick Bradshaw confirmed to Fox News that the suspect was 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin. I like how they used Austin Tucker Martin, because it's that's an it can't be an assassin unless they got to put that middle name in there. John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald. They gotta put that middle name in there No Secret Service or PBSO personnel were injured, and no Secret Service protectees were present at location during the time of the incident. Officials said Donnie T was also not in Florida when the shooting occurred. FBI, Secret Service, and Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office are investigating, including the man's background, actions, and potential motive, as well as the use of force. His potential motives. You show up at Palm Beach you show up at Mar-a-Lago with a shotgun. I think I know your intentions. Bradshaw said at a press conference that a deputy and 2 Secret Service agents on the detail went to investigate after an individual made his way onto the inner perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. They, quote, they confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun. He was ordered to drop those 2 pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. Bradshaw told reporters, at that point in time, the deputy and 2 Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat. They must have lit him up. He said the suspect did not exchange any words with law enforcement officers who instructed the man to drop the items. FBI Miami Special Agent in Charge Brett Skiles said the Bureau is assisting in the investigation because the shooting occurred in an area under Secret Service protection. Said the FBI's evidence response team is processing the scene and collecting... Oh, there's a shot. Ooh, what is that? Is that a Mossberg? That looks like... I think that's a Mossberg 500. It's a good shotgun, by the way. It's processing the scene and collecting evidence and urged residents who live nearby to review their exterior cameras for footage from Saturday night into early Saturday morning. I mean, they're going to look at the residents of Palm Beach are going to look at their footage, and all they're going to see is mangoes just dropping out of the fucking... You ever been to Palm Beach, man? It's just mangoes everywhere. You go for a walk in the morning, it's just mango, rows of mangoes, delicious mangoes that are just lying there on the ground. They're so good, absolutely delicious. I even brought a few of them back with me from Palm Beach when I was down there for our bar mitzvah. Fantastic mangoes. Quote: if you see anything that looks suspicious or out of place, please contact us, he told reporters. FBI Director Kash Patel said in a post on X that his agency is dedicating all necessary resources in the investigation of this morning's incident and will continue working closely with Secret Service as well as our state and federal partners and will provide updates as we are available. So, shot and killed trying to enter Mar-a-Lago Resort. Well, I mean, look, let's be honest here. It's, it's a private, it's in their defense, it's a private golf club. You can't just walk on willy-nilly and expect to get a tee time. You really gotta ask permission. And quite frankly, he didn't show up at any clubs, which is a dead giveaway. And I don't understand what would lead multiple people to go to do this because they think they're going to get away with it. Everybody thinks they're a fucking genius all of a sudden because the security personnel and Butler PA screwed up once. All of a sudden everybody thought they were going to get away with it again. No, you had your chance. You had your opportunity. It's up. It's done. You're not going to get this chance again. You didn't deserve the first one, okay? So now all of a sudden you've got people with no fucking hobbies, nothing to do. Is it all of a sudden people in Florida, people in Pennsylvania, and random places in the country, they have nothing to do? They have nothing to look forward to during the day? There's so many things that you could do during the day that don't include relaxing, playing video games, looking at porn, plotting to kill the president or somebody of a high figure status. There's plenty. I actually wrote down a bunch of things or hobbies or interests that you could consider getting into that don't include attempting to sneak onto a private course looking to potentially do harm to somebody who has Secret Service protection. And these things that I just decided to write off really quickly were biking, swimming, running, weightlifting, archery, cooking, wine tasting, chess. What is that? Baking, boxing too. I don't know if I wrote boxing or baking, but definitely baking. Pottery, drawing, gardening, painting, dog sitting. You could also turn it into a job too. But if you just want to hang out with dogs, dog sitting is a good way to do it. Music, either playing or listening. Martial arts. Drift racing. Drift racing is a good one. That's a good one. It's a little expensive, but it's a good one. Investing, stocks, bonds, real estate, crypto, gold, silver, credit defaults, you name it. So you could go ham with that. So besides that, dog sitting, music, martial arts, drift racing, investing, online learning. There's plenty of online learning. You could go on and learn how to crack your back in the morning. You can learn how to make a beautiful souffle. You can learn how to do an arm bar. You can learn how to hike some of the nation's greatest mountains. There's so many things. Online learning, including like foreign languages, content editing, photography, poker, surfing, and Magic the Gathering, the card game. There's plenty of things that you can do that don't include trying to assassinate an American president. I mean, quite honestly, you are clearly bored by choice. And I don't understand why people are going ahead and being like, this is a great idea. I'm going to do this. You were clearly unprepared. The first kid was unprepared because he had iron sights. This kid was unprepared because he brought a fuel can and a shotgun. A fuel can. He's basically, understand, he was walking into a fortress. If you don't, let me just break it down for you stupid people who don't clearly understand what the fuck Mar-a-Lago is. Okay, Mar-a-Lago is not just a golf resort. It is a golf resort, but it's a giant resort. It is a private retreat. It is tens of acres of beautifully manicured land next to Palm Beach, Florida, or in Palm Beach, Florida. It is one of the most expensive properties in the country. It is home to one of the largest real estate moguls of the 1980s, and now he's now a two-term president. And it is a private place. It's a private resort. You have to have membership in order to go there. And now that the situation we're in, it is a highly secured facility. So it's essentially a fortress. It is a fortress that is protected by the Palm Beach Police Department, who are very nice folk, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, who are very good folk, and the United States Secret Service, and probably has its own personal security as well. So, if you think that you're going to get through those 4 lines of security with a decent shotgun and a can of fuel, I'm sorry, but you are no smarter than the guy who tried to get into our Space Force facility here in New Hampshire by just driving up to the front gate. This is basically suicide by cop is what it is. But in my opinion, if you don't want to deal with any of these hobbies, weightlifting, wine tasting, chess, investing, learning an online language, content editing, Magic the Gathering, that's a good one for dorks. That's a great one. I got nothing against that one. But if you just are looking to die, then just go to Canada. Canada will kill you for free. If you just go up to Canada and say, I'm sad and I can't take it anymore, they will absolutely, happily put you to your death through assisted suicide. They do it all the time. They just killed a grandma a few months ago against her will. They'll do anything. They'll kill anyone because, quite frankly, their healthcare system sucks more than ours does. Ours isn't great either, but hey, man, there's no shortage of sucking, especially when it's north of the border. Hibiscus. The tea's more expensive. Look, it's not a smart thing to do. You really shouldn't be going to try and assassinate an American president or sneak onto a highly secured facility in general. It's not good. It really isn't. It's not good. In my opinion, like if you're trying to change the world, I guess this is the plot to kill Hitler required many, many people, and they failed. So the fact that you were trying to do this, you were guaranteed to fail. You were just looking to die. If you want to change the world, do it locally. And here's the thing. If you start locally, if you start small, like say you make your bed in the morning, and then maybe you go out and you make yourself a decent meal. Well, now you've cleaned up where you left off. You've made yourself a decent breakfast. Then maybe you can go out and shovel your driveway or go for a walk. This is good. Now you're seen as a person who takes care of their property, and now somebody who's going out and enjoying a nice stroll. This is somebody who now you're making a good example of your community by just simply going for a walk and saying it's safe to go out. I'm not afraid out here. It's nice. And then maybe you go to the grocery store and you shop responsibly and just get good foods that's maybe better for you. Maybe you start feeling a little more energetic and maybe you decide you're going to go for a run instead of a walk, or go for a swim, or maybe you're going to open up for a gym and get a membership there and go work out a little bit more and get a healthier mindset about yourself that does not include potential assassinations of foreign or domestic leaders. And then from there, maybe you think you want to do more for your community. So you start attending town hall meetings and figuring out what the fuck is going on in my town. Well, what is the school board voting on tonight? Or what is the town, what's the propositions that are being put forth on the table? Maybe you have some interest in them and you're curious before you vote on them. You want to know what they're about. So you start getting involved with those, and maybe you're for it or against it, but at least you understand it by going to them. And everything starts locally when you do that. And then you start to learn more about, oh, this is why we do things the way we do things. Maybe this is actually a good way of doing things, but we need to tweak it a little bit. And then you go, we can't do it that way because of this, that, and the other thing. And you're like, oh, okay. And now we're on the learning path. And then maybe you want to decide that you run for like local treasurer, or maybe like local something or other. And then you get into that situation, and then you can decide, or you can help decide what's best for the town. You start locally. You start by doing things that locally help your community. And you can not changing the world, but being a citizen of your community, your local tight-knit community, whether it's in a city or maybe it's in a small town. This is a good way to do it, not walking up to the gates of Mar-a-Lago with a shotgun and a gas can. This is whether you're maybe you were just strolling along the neighborhood and you accidentally took a wrong turn. You ended up on the front doorsteps of Mar-a-Lago at 1:30 in the morning. But I'd be wrong to say, if you're just strolling along at 1:30 in the morning with a shotgun and a fuel can, maybe you're up to no good, and maybe you didn't pack your bags correctly, or you went to the wrong grocery store. But there are many ways to change the world, or at least your local community, other than what you just did, because now you're dead. So now you can't change anything. Surprised his local community didn't shoot him. So there's many things you could do. If you want to change the world, start small. Okay? You're not gonna unveil the Epstein list. You're not gonna do any of that. You're not gonna break that. You're not Edward Snowden. Okay? I'll explain to you something about Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden was highly educated. He was a good worker, and he focused on his job. He was a very organized individual who had a knack for technology. He happened to be in a situation where he had access to information that apparently was high level. But he didn't just get there. He didn't just become that situation overnight, where he all of a sudden had access to all this private information about what the government was doing. He had to work at it. He had to get a better understanding of, he took his time. Did he change the world? I don't know if he changed the world, but he definitely made the world aware of what was happening. He definitely maybe influenced some policy here or there, but ultimately, Edward Snowden was a drop in the bucket. A drop in the bucket. And I have major respect for Edward Snowden, but ultimately, a drop in the bucket given the past 15 years of what has taken place. What you're doing, you're just getting yourself killed. This is just merely suicide by cop. You could have walked up to a police cruiser, started shooting, then ultimately the cop could have taken you out, and that would have been it. You wanted to make some news. You wanted to be remembered as some type of hero or something like that. This doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, there are way too many people that are broken that can't be saved. So ultimately, a lot more people are going to be shot because they've just been influenced by bad culture, bad Hollywood. Bad policy making, bad health guidelines, bad bunny, who the fuck, name it. There's so much out there. And I'm not saying I'm no better. But I can tell you when I just need to shut things off and walk away because there's too many things that I am responsible for that would prevent me from going and doing something stupid like this. And even if I despised Mar-a-Lago, even if I despised the state of Florida and despised the person who lived there, I'm not going there. I've been there. I've driven around Mar-a-Lago. I've stayed in that area, but I have no desire to be remembered as such a person. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy, and that's why I'm still alive today. Is because I decided that I do not want to try to assassinate an American president on a rooftop in Butler, PA, and then in the process killing a fire chief in front of his family. I have no desire to do that. That's not my style. It's not my style. I'm more of a, cook an omelet in the morning, go do some cardio, workout, hang out, maybe play a little Fortnite, hang out with my dog, make some money, do some investing, do some research here and there, keep up with my website, That's the kind of guy I think I am. That's the influence, that's the example I want to set, is somebody who when you have problems, he tries to fix them by taking care of himself and making his bed and cleaning his cars and doing healthy stuff and eating healthy stuff and being organized and just the things seen by the community as positive. I don't make a lot of noise, i.e. noise. I don't shoot my guns off. I don't sneak into golf resorts. We do have a golf resort over here called the Abenaki. It is private. I've never snuck onto it with a shotgun or a gas can. And I just want to let you know officially, I don't plan to. So there is that. I did want to... So yeah, he's dead. Don't do that. Don't try to kill an American president. You'll end up getting shot. It's a terrible idea. Especially this one. He's got a lot of security. So yeah, very, very foolish of you. He's not a hero. He's just dead. Kid's just dead. Here's the thing. He is 21 years old. 21 years old. Dead. No future. Do you realize at 21, you could become rich by the time you're 40? You could become rich by the time you're 40, successful by the time you're 40. I mean, literally rich. You can have a lot of money. You can get super healthy. You can meet a lot of nice people, meet a nice girl, own a dog. There's so much you can do. You're 21. What you've accomplished nothing other than get yourself killed. There's so many things to look forward to. Renting your first car at the age of 25. Getting drunk with your friends. If you don't have any friends, you can go make some friends. And now you're nothing. Now you're nothing. You're 21 years old. I wonder, where were your parents? Wild. Absolutely wild. But yeah. Shout out to Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office for chipping in, for making Mar-a-Lago safe again. Now, I don't want to talk about this too much, but I feel like it has to be talked about, because it is a thing that a lot of podcasters and news agencies and just people in general are really focused on, and that is like I said, the Epstein files. Now, there is a lot of redacted and unredacted of information out there currently on this. There's a lot of people who don't look good. There's a lot of people who do look good, but there's a lot of people who don't look so good. And one of them has been officially arrested due to this scenario. He was the first one to fall in this whole situation to begin with. But you bring it up because it's like the elephant in the room. I mean, because I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just curious as to how right Alex Jones was about, an island with pedophiles on it. And it's like, what? People with immense power. I think I kind of explained this properly last night. It's like people back in the day, they thought they could get away with whatever they want just because they had money and influence. And maybe they can. But they're not going to be looked at the same way anymore, because there's just there's too much video, there's too much evidence, there's too many photos, there's too many emails where you can't, maybe legally you can get away with this stuff. And that's a big maybe. Like socially, you can't, I don't think you can anymore. There's no privacy in that situation. When you do something, or when you are accused of doing something this heinous, you're not going to get away with it. Not socially, anyways. I know there are some people who are, I mean, look, I know Bill Cosby, he was freed from prison due to a technicality. I get it. Oh, but we're talking about something that didn't happen in the 1970s. We're talking about something that happened in the 90s and the early 2000s, and was continued to happen into the 2010s. There's emails back and forth. There's photos. There's video. Okay, there's trails all over the place, and they just got greedy. This is what greed does. You know you can get away with it. You think you can get away with it because you're untouchable. You're part of the royal family. You're part of the elite. You know, you're part of that private club. You know, what was the famous George Carlin joke? It was America has owners. You know, it's not a republic. It has landowners. They own you. It's a one big club, and you're not invited. But it seems like the shoe is starting to fall for some folk when it's just clear as day. And apparently, Prince Andrew, who's now considered the former, he might be removed from the line of succession. The British, the royal family definitely has, for all their faults, whatever they may be, I'm not here to judge. When it comes to people taking over the throne, they want to maintain their image as crisp, clean, and slightly inbred. And when it comes to Prince Andrew, not looking good for him. So the British officials said they're not ruling anything out, as police continue searching the prince's home following misconduct charges. So he was facing more fallout following his arrest. So he was officially arrested for misconduct. This is the first arrest of somebody who has been on the Epstein list with a lot of damning evidence against them. On Friday, police continued searching Andrew's former home. The British government is also considering whether to formally remove him from the line of succession. Despite being stripped of his princely title in October and now facing a police investigation, Andrew remains eighth in line to the throne, a change that would require new legislation. Quote, "The government is considering any further steps that might be required, and we're not ruling anything out," announced James Murphy, the government's chief secretary to the Treasury. The last time a royal was removed from the line of succession was after the abdication of King Edward VIII in 1936. The law was changed to remove him and any descendants from the list. When speaking on BBC Radio's Four's Any Question show, Defense Minister Luke Pollard said the British government and Buckingham Palace had been working together to prevent Andrew from potentially being a heartbeat away from the throne. He's like the eighth, though. He's like the eighth. You got Prince Harry, and you got the Prince other guy. So there's those people. There's a bunch of people in the way. He added that he is hopeful this is an issue that will enjoy cross-party support, but it's something that only happens when police investigations conclude. Andrew was arrested on Thursday morning on suspicion of misconduct in public office. I'm going to click on that so we can dive into that a little bit more. Quote, "I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office," King Charles III said in a statement issued by Buckingham Palace. "What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this I have said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course." Quote, "As this process continues, it would be it would not be right for me to comment any further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service you all," he added. Well, he's no saint either, King Charles. He, I believe, cheated on Princess Diana back in the day with, I forget her name, Camilla Parker, something like that. The former prince has been the subject of public scrutiny for many years due to his close friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and allegations. Did you know there's conspiracy out there that he's still alive, apparently? From Virginia, Robert Guthrie, who claims Andrew had sex with her when he knew she was only 17. She's only 17. Following the years of scrutiny, Andrew announced in October 2025 that he would no longer use my title or the honors which have been conferred upon me, and continued to deny all allegations against him. Later that month, Buckingham Palace confirmed that King Charles had initiated a formal process to remove the style, titles, and honors of Prince Andrew, noting, "Prince Andrew will now be known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor." The Crown Prosecution Service indicates that misconduct in public office is a maximum sentence of life in prison. So what do we... Oh, hey, take it easy. Okay, I get it. I'm glad you're back. So he reacted to his brother's arrest in a statement from... Okay, so what... Has been arrested and suspicious of misconduct while in public office. Well, he's been in public office basically his whole life. Okay, let me state clearly, law must take its course, and the process continues. We already read that. They arrested him on Thursday morning on suspicion of misconduct. What's the misconduct? Carrying out searches and addresses in Berkshire and Norfolk. He has yet to be charged with any wrongdoing. So he's arrested, but he hasn't been charged. He can be held for a maximum of 96 hours before being charged or released. So if they don't find anything and they don't have sufficient evidence, they may just release him. Misconduct in public office is an offense in abuse or neglect of power or responsibilities by someone holding public office. It applies to people in roles across the UK government and public services, including elected officials, civil servants, the police, judiciary, but also offers some other working areas in public service. The Thames Valley Police, which covers areas west of London, said Andrew was arrested after a thorough assessment with an investigation now opened. Following a thorough assessment, we have now opened an investigation into this allegation of misconduct in public office. It is important that we protect the integrity and objectivity of our investigation as we work with our partners to investigate the alleged offense. We understand the significant public interest in this case, and we will provide updates at the appropriate time. Public scrutiny tied to Jeffrey Epstein. Virginia Roberts Guthrie, prominent Epstein and former Prince Andrew accuser, reacted as today our broken hearts have been lifted at the news that no one is above the law, not even royalty. On behalf of our sister, Virginia Robert Guthrie, we extend our gratitude to the UK Thames Valley Police for their investigation and arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. The statement said, "He was never a prince. For survivors everywhere, Virginia did this for you." She died. Oh, that's right. So Virginia Robert Guthrie died by suicide, apparently, last year. Alleged that Andrew had sex with her when he knew she was only 17. Gross. I mean, if you're 17, she's 17. That's different, but he definitely wasn't 17. She said that Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell had told her, "When we get home, you are to do with him what you do for Jeffrey. He was friendly enough, but still entitled, as he believed having sex with me was his birthright." Okay. Guthrie wrote of the former prince. "The next morning, Maxwell told me you did well. The prince had fun. Epstein would give me $15,000 for servicing the man the tabloids called Randy Andy." In October of 2025, the former prince declared in a statement that he would no longer use his titles. Buckingham said, "We're going to get rid of this guy." The Crown prosecution, blah, blah, blah. So, did some nasty stuff. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to change the world. I'm not the one who caused him to get arrested or lose his titles or anything like that. But like I said, if you're that flagrant and that careless and that disgusting of a human being, chances are you're not going to get away with it. The elites are the veil is starting to be lifted. And some people may not be ready. And for those who did wrong, there may be no escape. Because the statute of limitations on rape is, I don't think there is one. I can double check actually. Britain, so UK statute limitations, sex crime. There is no general statute of limitations for criminal prosecution of serious sexual offenses, including rape and sexual assault. So, let me put it to you this way. If he did it, and they have enough evidence that he did it, doesn't matter whether he did it in 1976 or 2026, he can be arrested, investigated, charged, convicted, and sentenced. That's it. Now, I'm wondering that if he knows anything, is he going to try to sing like a canary and throw other people under the bus? Because it's kind of a domino effect. Like, did he hang out with other people like Bill Gates or something, or Peter Attia? I don't know. Did he know any of them? Did he see any of them? Does he have any information? It's like, we can cut your sentence down, but you need to tell us everything you know, and depending upon what you know, if it's of any value, we might cut you some slack because you're almost dead. So if you want to live one more breath of air outside of these jail walls, you're going to talk. Because if you don't, you're going to jail for the rest of your life, and it ain't going to be white-collar crime. A white-collar prison. I'm wondering if he is the first one. But here's the thing. It's like, you know, he can go to prison, and before he talks, they could probably off him. I don't know who they is. I'm just guessing. But this is a situation where, hey, this is not a conspiracy theory anymore. We know there was an island. We have evidence that it happened. Somebody has basically just lost their titles as prince. They could lose their heir to the throne. They've just been arrested. They're being investigated. It's out there. It's a thing. It happened. It's a question of how much more evidence do we have that will actually come out to the point where people start being put in handcuffs more. Like, how many more people are we going to see? How many more embarrassments will there be? How many more charges will there be? Is anybody going to jail? We don't know. It's merely a mild read. This is not something you talk about in a diner loudly. It's just something you quietly read to yourself and you go, he fucking deserved it. But that's all I got for you on that, folks. In the meantime, make your bed, drink your coffee or tea, make your own food, go to the gym, take care of yourself, and try not to sneak onto private golf courses in order to assassinate American presidents. You can find me on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. Find me on my website, positivesarcasm.com. Email me directly at positivesarcasm@outlook.com. Like, subscribe, share, donate, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount appreciated. You don't have to take any of my advice. You know, you don't have to, but maybe it'll do you good. But in the meantime, thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing. You can find me anywhere podcasts are available, and I'll talk to you all next week. Recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast for entertainment purposes only. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.